All right, mic check, 1 2 1 2. I think we're live and got this thing rocking and rolling here. I will wait for folks in the chat to give me the thumbs up of approval, hopefully. I gotta mute my thing so there's no echo, but it looks like it's almost caught up. This is funny, this lag that always happens between when we say something and when it actually shows up. It makes this really, really fun. But that being said, I'm gonna assume everything is good to go. So with that, hello, everybody. Welcome to the October edition of the Windows Insider Webcast. Let me rephrase that. The October 2023 edition of the Windows Insider Webcast. For anybody that is out there, if you can give me the thumbs up that you can hear us okay, that would be fantastic. But that little technicality aside, I want to say thanks to everybody for being here today. Glad to have you all once again for the folks that are tuned in. And of course, to the glorious whip cohort that is here. Good to have you as always. For the longtime webcast viewers, you'll notice that Jen is not here today. She is feeling under the weather, and so send her some good vibes that she gets to feeling better quickly. You can drop her a message on Twitter if you chat with her there. And, send her some virtual chicken soup or something. So, Amanda, Anne-Marie, Brandon, how's it going? I know Brandon's kind of like looking off to the side, doing some work.
We're doing a few things at one time.
Right.
At the same time. We can handle it. We're multitaskers.
It's the joy of timing. For insiders out there, if you happen to be in the Canary channel, or if you happen to be in beta, you might want to go click that check for updates button. This is the fun of doing this in real time, I can tell you this. So people that are watching this on video after the fact, it doesn't apply. This is only for people who are watching live, because we're actually shipping two different builds right now. So if you're joined in, don't leave the stream, but go check for updates and then install it after the stream's done, right? This is the important thing for now. So let's jump through introductions, right? And then I've got something fun I want to show everybody after we go through the introduction. So I'm just going to go clockwise as folks appear on my screen. So I'm Jason Howard, PM here on the Windows Insider team. Great to be here once again. I'm your glorious host in comedic relief. Amanda, would you like to say hi next?
Hello, I'm Amanda Langowski. I lead the program here and have to deal with Jason, Brandon, and Anne-Marie on a daily basis.
Not wrong. That's
You're welcome.
That's probably the best way to describe it. Anne-Marie, how's it going?
Great, thank you. Thanks for having me. I am also a PM on the Windows Insider team, and I have to put up with Amanda, Jason, and Brandon every day. I work on our ongoing release cycles and also currency within our Insider audience.
And for you, this is webcast number 2.
It is.
We're going to start a trend here.
Love it.
I would ask Brandon to say hello, but as I mentioned about the flights that are kind of going out the door currently, Brandon's doing some data validation, making sure the red button gets pressed and whatnot. So I'm going to put on my best Brandon impression. I'm Brandon LeBlanc. I'm a PM on the Windows Insider team. I deal with a lot of the comms. You know me on Twitter. I'm at Brandon LeBlanc. I love Microsoft. And today is my birthday. Yes. I can't even get a smirk out of him. He's probably not even listening in right now because he's multitasking. But he's
we'll
gonna
get him
find
in a
out.
second.
Yeah, he's gonna find out here in a minute because I've got something up my sleeve.
That was a good impression, Jason. Spot on. If I close my eyes.
You just concentrate hard enough and it just might sound like it.
Yeah.
So all of that being said, let me take a minute and get organized over here. And let me get this presentation pulled up because I am genuinely excited for what we're covering today. So let me switch screens over. Apparently I need to remap the PowerPoint because everybody's just staring at my glorious face right now. Okay. Make that visible. Well, I'm going to put us back on for a second while I make this. I've got one adjustment that I need to make. So, it wouldn't be fun if I didn't have a little bit of work to do over here. That's kind of just how this always goes. So let me unlock.
I'm now back on this team's. I'm now in the webcast officially. So, hi, everyone. I don't know what people said. Oh, I'm reading the chat. Oh, Jason.
Love you, Brandon. Happy birthday.
Yeah.
All
Thank
right.
you.
So I think I have this fixed now. So let me flip back over so people don't have to stare at my face. I'm going to bring up the PowerPoint that has kind of our topical agenda for the day. So let me get that switched back over. That should be transitioning. Everybody should hopefully see PowerPoint at this point. So this is the Windows Insider Webcast for October of 23. So topics for today. We're going to talk about Copilot in Windows. And then it's birthday time. What? We're going to talk about the Windows Insider Program 9th anniversary. So we're going to have some fun with that. And then, of course, presuming we have not taken up the entire hour going through everything else, we will do our best to save some time for Q&A. So with that, let's talk Copilot. And with that, I want to bring on our guest for the day. So say hi to Amy. What's up, Amy? How's it going?
Going great. I'm happy to be here.
Excellent.
I don't have to put up with you every day, but I am excited to be here on the webcast.
We can change that. We can just do some more rounds.
I'm not sure she wants to take that responsibility on. I mean, I'm not sure I want to put up with me every day either. So
every other day is good enough,
Amy and I have been working very closely together as of late, doing some of the internal self-hosting work related to Copilot. She's been rushing around with doing work kind of prior to the release that just happened, and of course, kind of looking forward out into the future to see what's going to come next. But Amy, I don't want to take away your thunder, so I know you have a few things you'd like to present today. We've got some videos to share. I know you have a presentation that you wanted to pull up, so if you want to go ahead and share that in Teams, I will get that plumbed in as soon as you let me know that you are ready.
It's just the video, so I'm happy to
perfect.
let you take the reins and we can kind of chat through as we go.
Okay. And then Brandon, if I do have your attention for 1 second, the other PowerPoint, did you want me to show that? I think he is like super buried in what he's working on right now, which is not surprising, but let me see for one moment. Pardon the short delay as I verify a little bit of information here, folks. If this is going to open, let's see what happens. Dun, dun, dun. Well, I think the gist of what we were going to cover is we're going to be talking about what's released to WIP, the materials that are currently available. We're not going super deep on the technical back end underpinnings of Copilot. Just wanted to set some kind of groundwork, some framework of what we are and won't be covering this week. So keep that in mind. Brandon, if you have other things that you wanted to add, I think you were chiming in.
Yeah, I could cover this. So today for what we're going to cover in Copilot is mostly what's available today. We're not going to be talking about any future related stuff. Current availability of Copilot is that it's being gradually rolled out to Windows Insiders in select global markets in dev, beta, and release preview. We know that there's a lot of questions that people have asked about Canary Channel. We're planning to begin gradually rolling out Copilot to Windows Insiders in Canary Channel soon, but we do not have an ETA to share. And then also, we know that folks are having questions about the new icon in the dev channel, when that's going to show up. All I'll have to say there is that it's going to be there very soon. Just wanted to level set that this conversation is mostly about what Copilot is today to insiders who have it. And then we won't be sharing future things or getting into the weeds of technical details of how it works. And then also, we're not announcing any new flights other than the beta channel flight that just went live. No dev or Canary flights today. That's going to be happening during the webcast. And I just have to say this since I've already answered 2 questions in chat, but we're not going to be talking about any future Windows releases. That's not going to come from us, and that we're not going to be through our webcast. So don't expect us to answer any questions about future Windows releases and things like that. So that's my spiel.
Very fair. Try to head off some of those questions. I know they kind of pop up. It seems like every webcast. Brandon, I know that did the cumulative update for Canary go out alongside that beta release?
Yes, the cumulative update to Canary 25967.1010 also went live.
Okay.
We'll tweet about that after
I'll
the
do that
webcast.
shortly. Sorry.
I don't have access to our Twitter account. I seem to have lost that. Sorry, Jason. But yeah, that did go live.
I'll take care of that. Sorry, guys.
Then this again is how you know this is all happening live and real time, because otherwise it would be way less fun. So Amy, I have totally sidetracked and distracted and everything. So we do have several videos to go through. The first of which I believe, let me get organized here. The first one is my file. Is about launching Copilot. Is there anything you would like to say beforehand, or you want me to just roll script?
I think let's show, not tell.
Okay.
So I kind of prepared a series of videos for what I'm most excited about with Copilot, starting from how you actually use it to some of the scenarios that really shine with Copilot. So with that, I guess let's dive in. I'm happy to take questions between videos or hold them all till the end, whatever people are feeling.
Alrighty, let me get this thing queued up over here. If the screen goes black for just a moment, it's because I'm doing some technical shuffling. Don't sweat it, it'll be right back.
To get started with Copilot, click on the beautiful new Copilot icon on the taskbar, or use the Win-C keyboard shortcut. You can toggle Copilot on and off from here as well, or use the close button in the header.
Easy enough. That's how folks get access. Any questions? Hopefully not. I hope all the Winsiders that are tuned in today have used Copilot at some point. I know a lot of it has to do depending on how their device is configured and where they are, what channel were you in, and all that kind of fun jazz. So, the echo instantly took care of it. I saw it as soon as it was happening. Apologize. I know it happened for a couple seconds, but it should be cleaned up. Any questions off that first video?
That's just the basics. So
Yeah.
hopefully it'll get more exciting as we go along.
All right, let me change over and queue up number 2 here. And I will say, in typical PM fashion, Amy was super well organized and numbered the videos, so I knew exactly what order to play them in. I cannot tell you how thankful I am, because when there's a stack of videos, it's just like, which one do I click? Whatever. No, it's like 1 here, 2 here. So Amy, thank you as always. Thank you for doing the fantastic PM stuff. So rather than listening to me talk, I'm going to go ahead and queue up the second video. You ready for that? This one is clicking prompts to get started. So let me get that video playing. Here we go.
Suggested prompts. These are here to give you ideas of the things that Copilot can help you with and spark ideas for your own prompts. There will always be fresh creative suggestions for you to try out here. You can click on any of those to get started chatting.
Yeehaw. Second video down. I love how, like, one of the things that I really like about Copilot is those suggestive hints. Like, hey, here's something to get started, right? Because I'm going to tell everybody a story. It's a little bit embarrassing, but it's the same thing that I bet other folks are going through. And this happens when you get introduced to new technology that you're not familiar with. So let me tell an embarrassing story, and maybe it'll make sense for folks who are potentially daunted for trying to figure out what should I actually type into Copilot? How should I do anything? Like, how do I actually get started here? So let's jump into story time. I'll be quick. It'll be like 30 seconds. So when I was in college, and this was back in kind of the early days of Office becoming what Office has turned into over the course of time, I took an actual college course where out of the Office suite, you had to pick 3 of the major applications to learn. And I picked Access, Excel, and PowerPoint. And so when it became time to do Excel, you open it up, and Excel is really just a giant grid, right? You have letters and numbers, rows and columns and all that. And in the guided book, it was like, type a formula. It was just literally just 2 + 2. And I sat there with this ridiculously puzzled look on my face. And the teacher comes scrolling around, and she's, checking the folks and the people in class. And she's like, you haven't typed anything. What's going on? And I was like, where do I type? And she's like, what do you mean? I was like, I don't know which spot to type in. Like, where do you type? And she literally gave me the light bulb. She's like, every cell is an open field of possibilities. You can pick any cell you want to type in, just start typing. I was like, okay. And so I think I clicked like C3 or D3 or something, just randomly selected a cell and typed it in, hit enter and auto-calculated the formula. And I was like, really? And she was like, yeah. So sometimes just finding a way to get started gets you over that initial hump, but having that little nudge to get you going in the right direction goes a really, really long way. So, a little bit of an embarrassing personal story, but it's one of those good learning moments. So if during your Copilot adventure you have some of those moments of, I don't know exactly how to ask something or what I can type, just give it a shot and see where the world takes you, because Copilot is going to continue evolving, but there's a lot of fun already built in. So
yeah, and that's a good point, Jason. Like when you're having a conversation with Copilot, like after you've already typed in your first query or hit one of these suggested prompts to get started, Copilot will actually give you other suggestions to keep the conversation going. Maybe you didn't think about like that's where you wanted the conversation to go or how you wanted to follow up, but Copilot's pretty clever and will give you some ideas there too.
And speaking of that, it's almost like the order of the videos that are coming. Because video number 3 is about asking complex questions. So
yes.
let me get that queued up, and we'll get rolling here. Give me just a moment.
Copilot can help you complete complex tasks in seconds, not hours. It relieves cognitive loads and gives you the support you need with timely and accurate answers to your questions. One of my personal favorite use cases for Copilot is trip planning. My husband and I are planning an upcoming trip to New York and discussing what we should do. I have an email from him here with a long list of activities. I want to plan out which ones we should visit based on how close they are to one another. So I am going to copy all the text from this email, and I get this very convenient prompt to send my copied text into Copilot. I'm going to do that, and I'm going to also ask it to create a table of these attractions with their distance from Skylight Essex Crossing. And now I will sit back and let Copilot do its magic. So instead of me having to go manually search up each of these attractions and figure out the distance from one to another and make a table by hand and all of this, Copilot is doing all of the hard work for me, and I'm literally just sitting here watching it produce this amazing table. So that was awesome. But what if I want to, just reduce it to the ones that are just within like 10 minutes? We want to go on vacation, but we don't really want to work too hard for that vacation. So I'm going to say remove the items that are further than 10 walking minutes. And this is amazing. So it's helping me prioritize my list and really pick what we want to do. So now I kind of want to, send this back as a reply in an email to my husband. So I'm just going to select the table and drag it right on in. And that is the beauty of trip planning with Copilot.
I gotta admit, that's pretty cool. I haven't done anything in that context of trip planning or, tell me a bunch of distances between, point A and, a bunch of different attractions or venues like that. That's pretty slick. Like I can only imagine, somebody, taking a trip to, a state or a country or, somewhere globally that they've never been to before. And they're like, hey, this is the hotel I'm staying in. What are some of the really cool attractions within, say, 10 minutes of walking from where I'm staying, and just having it potentially spit out a list. And this is the fun part. I don't know if Copilot actually does this, but guess what I'm going to do after this webcast? I'm going to go try some fun queries in Copilot, and we're going to see what it's capable of. Just the fact that it can turn like these general questions out of your head into something so complicated, but then give you very structured and reasonable answers. I think, Amy, I know we still have more videos to go, but I want to ask something real quick. How much fun has it been working on something that's, I won't say it's crazy, it's revolutionary, because this is literally changing how people are going to interact, not only with their device, with Windows, with everything that's available to them, but like, it's going to change how they interact with the world, because you gain this knowledge in this very structured and organized way that you then turn and actually interact in daily life with, the tools and knowledge that you've been armed with after the fact.
It's been so fun. Like just thinking about how we can make people more efficient and make their lives easier makes it all worth it for me. And like that is kind of what gives me motivation every day, is like thinking about how you guys are going to use this. Like, I'll be honest, like I was not lying. Trip planning is my number one use case for Copilot. But I love figuring out, how are other people going to use this? Are they also going to do trip planning, or like what are those specific, scenarios that everyone's going to get excited about? And that is what makes me happy to come to work every day and figure those things out. One other anecdote I'll give about trip planning and Copilot is, earlier this year, my husband and I went to Europe, and it was like a few week long trip. And we had all of our destinations planned out kind of like before ChatGPT rolled onto the scene. So we already had that, piece done. But as far as what we wanted to do in each of those places, we had no clue. We just knew that we wanted to go to, a few cities in Italy and in Spain and all of that. And so for each length of time in our itinerary, I just plugged it into Copilot and was like, hey, give me a 3-day itinerary for, Florence. Give me a 2-day itinerary for Rome. And it just spit out all of that. And we kind of just prioritized that and went along, and we didn't have to worry about, booking all of these things in advance. It just made it so easy and so enjoyable. So I urge you all to try out trip planning with Copilot.
And Amy, you can attest, we are always telling insiders this, but being on the feature team directly, you guys are really looking at feedback every day to see exactly how other people are using it and some of the things with it. It's really, I've seen the team go through it and see the feedback come in, and the team really do something about it.
Exactly. We want to hear that feedback. So send it on, Twitter, send it through in-product feedback, all of it. We want to hear it.
Excellent. With that, I believe I have the 4th video queued up. Let me double check real quick. Yes, number 4. We are good. Okay. And this one is take actions across windows. So give me just a moment and that video will begin playing.
Another exciting thing about Copilot is the integration of Windows-specific skills. You can use natural language to express what you're trying to do, and Copilot can connect the dots to the tools, apps, and settings that you need. For example, let's say turn on dark mode. Copilot confirms, yes, I do want to switch to dark mode. And just like that, I go from light mode to dark mode. That was super easy. Another thing, if you're having issues with your device and you're not really sure what to do, you can just ask Copilot and it'll help walk you through the steps to get there. So what if I say, why is my audio not working? Copilot's gonna help me by launching the troubleshooter. Another fun thing, or another fun Windows skill, once Copilot's done responding, is we can ask Copilot to help change our background image. This launches settings right to the personalization page, which is super helpful and really awesome. So these are just a few examples of Windows skills. You'll have to go try out Copilot for yourself to see more of them, and really excited to hear which ones you like best and what else you might want to do with the help of Copilot.
Awesome. I will say, given that I got to participate in some of the self-hosting efforts before it released publicly. As soon as I could tell Copilot to switch on dark mode, I about did a backflip. I think pretty much every insider who's ever been on a webcast at pretty much any point in time has, heard my love of dark mode. Pretty much like hashtag dark mode, all the things. And so just the fact that I can tell Copilot, like, hey, switch to light mode just so I can have the joy of switching back to dark mode. It seems kind of ridiculous, but it was really, really fun watching things just kind of like change after I'm like, switch, click, and it's like, cool, got you. And, the next thing you know, it's just done. So, I mean, it's probably safe to say, Copilot doesn't recognize every single thing you could potentially do in Windows, right? There's going to be growth and things changing over the course of time. So if you're typing something and Copilot's like, hey, I'm not sure how to do that. If it's something that's super important to you, Amy, how would you like people to kind of upvote, stack rank? Obviously, we mentioned about, submitting things via the feedback hub. I'm assuming that's where you're collecting things. You want folks to kind of go and upvote the ones they deem to be most important to them. Is that the best way to do it, or you have something else you would like to add?
Yeah, feedback hub is perfect. That stuff is, triaged and reviewed daily. And so the stuff that's getting the most hits is rising to the top of our backlog. So, what you want to hear, please tell us and go upvote.
Excellent. All right. With that one done, that was number 4. Next up, video number 5, going to be dragging and dropping images. So allow me to take a moment and cue this up. You will see the screen blink black real quick, and then we'll be off and running. So just a moment.
A picture is worth more than 1,000 words with Copilot. Much of the power of Windows is working across applications and sharing content across them, whether that's the clipboard or dragging and dropping a file. And we aim for Copilot to support how you use Windows. No need to build new habits. A friend sent me this image of something they found online yesterday that looks really yummy. Let's ask Copilot how to make it. So I'm just going to drag and drop it right into Copilot and ask it how to cook this dish. Awesome, just like that. I don't even have to go try to search around and figure out what this dish is. Copilot tells me what it is and gives me a recipe that I can follow.
So I'm glad you let Copilot finish answering that one, because now the entire recipe is captured here on the webcast, so I can go back and actually check it out.
So cool how it can just recognize an image and like come up with a recipe, right?
That's exactly what I wanted to talk about. So if you stop and think about the number of complicated and step-by-step processes that had to take place for this to occur, right? Not only did Copilot have to be able to ingest the image once you dragged it and dropped it, right? That's just a bit of technical implementation. But then it has to do image searching to understand, hey, what is this that's actually being, represented in this photo? So, and I cannot claim to have the full technological stack built into my head, but just from a generalized perspective, it has to do image comparison. Then it has to do text analyzation of what's assigned to those images to understand what is actually in the image. So it had to have had some sort of processing done there. Then it's like, okay, now that I have to name, then it has to go and conduct a search to say, hey, what is a recipe for this? Because that was the input that you actually put in. Then it had to go hit up websites or, where, because, it has the little indicators on where it was pulling the content from. Then it pulled a recipe, pulled the text from that page, rewrote that, suggested it to you, and then you have the recipe and all that. All from the, you dragging an image and saying, how do I cook what's in this picture? So all of that's happening on the back side. So if you think about the amount of like human time it would take to go in, start from, I have a picture of this and I don't even know what it is, to getting to the end state of, hey, I have the recipe so I can go and attempt to cook this. Like the amount of time that it just saved, the user, and you in this particular, a demo video that you just ran. My goodness, that's a lot of time saved. And if you compile that over the number of actions you take over the course of a day, whether it's helping you rewrite documents with things you're doing for work, or image searches, or just answering general life questions, right? Say you have say you have a sick kid at home, be like, hey, my kid's running a fever. What's a potential medicine I can get to help bring the fever down, right? If if it's like your first kid and you're kind of learning on the fly, like just human life questions, all kinds of stuff. Like the world is at your fingertips when you're typing in here. So yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't joking when I said we were gonna get more exciting as we go along here.
My goodness. In case you can't tell, I'm super excited about this too. I have not used Copilot nearly enough, but the times that I have used it, it has been a big boon in things I was trying to get accomplished. I cannot tell you how much time savings this tool has kind of allowed, not only for me in doing work-related items, but personal-related items along the way. We still have 2 more videos to go, and I'm excited to show these as well. So video number 6 here is snip and get quick answers. So I am loading this up. And so same as all the other videos, it'll take just a moment, it'll load and then play. So here we go.
Copilot can also help with math problems. I have a problem here that I'm not sure how to solve. Copilot can help me figure it out. I can even snip the image and it'll pop right in. I'll ask it what the angles of this triangle are and why, so that I understand exactly how to solve the problem and can figure it out more easily in the future. Let's see what it says. So not only is Copilot giving me the answers that I need, it's explaining step by step how to go through the process of doing this. This will be a super helpful tool for, students to figure out how to solve problems and really get those math skills down.
So not only did you just make practically every student around the world happy, you just made every parent who hates math do backflips. I mean,
it's a great tool.
I mean, I love geometry.
Even if it's only like a last resort of like, hey, I'm really stuck and I can't figure this out. Please help me walk through this so that I can, do the same thing in the future. I don't know. That's how I would use it. I would not just go put all my questions there. But...
I could see Amanda running to the upvote button for more math, more math.
No, I was like, it's a true story. Like my daughter's in her first year of college, and she came to me and asking like how to do some sort of calculations to see how the shifting of, I think it was plates or something, would work. And so I popped open Copilot and said, this is how I would figure it out. And just kind of walk through, like, how do you figure out these calculations knowing this point, this point, this point? Mm-hmm. And it was pretty cool. Like, popped out really quick, and it was easy just to copy and paste it and drop it to her in an email, and she gave it a go as well.
Yeah, and kind of looking back at, the videos that we've seen so far, I think Copilot really shines at these, like, multi-step, like, complicated process involved questions that you can ask it, like finding the recipe, like figuring out this math problem, trip planning, all of these things, super, involved, and it just really simplifies it into something that's super easy and digestible.
Yeah, this video is kind of a secondary underscore of the point that I made at the end of the prior video, where, to highlight what you just said again, it's you're asking, from a process perspective, you're asking a question that is 2, 3, 4 processes deep, and it has to work through the logic of, hey, what am I starting with, and what was the ending question, and how do I plug in each potential step that needs to be done along the way to get to the answer, for what has been requested. And just the speed at which it handles that, my goodness. Like, it's fascinating to watch it in action. That's all I have to say.
For sure.
That was video number 6. We have one more to go. And this one is leverage the power of web page context. I am loading this one up. And give me just a moment and you will see it begin to play.
Copilot comes to life even more using your open Microsoft Edge web page as context. You can ask Copilot to summarize the page that you have open and keep refining the results. So here I have the blog post from the AI event last month. It's rather long and maybe I don't have time to read the whole thing right now, but I still want to know the most important bits. Well, let's ask Copilot for help. So I'm asking it to summarize the page and tell me the 3 most important points that I should know about what's in this article. So that is awesome. I didn't even have to read the article and I already have the key points as takeaways. Okay, there's also a video on this blog post. So let's ask it to explain what's in the video. Awesome. And just like that, it's explaining what's in the video without me even having to click play on this. So this is super powerful. You can be super efficient and not even have to read every article and still get the gist and the most important bits of what is going on. But beyond this, which is very practical, Copilot can also have fun. Let's create a poem based on this blog post.
And there you have it. Video number 7 is complete. It was really interesting because right as I went to play that video, I think it was Doom in the chat made a comment of, I hope it supports combo prompts to help make up for some of the processing time. I'm kind of abbreviating what was said. And then you were like, hey, summarize this article and give me 3 major bullet points for it. It's like literally the very first thing happened in the demo video. I was like, that's quite lucky on the timing of how this is plugging together. That's great.
Copilot really anticipates your needs. What can I say?
We don't even know what Copilot's so good. It's answering questions in chat when the demos were recorded in the days before. Like, pretty soon I'm just like not even gonna have to show up to work. Amanda, like, just gonna have Copilot do my job for me. She was like, one less rascal to have to deal with on the team.
I see.
Amy, like, I gotta say, the whole video summary thing is insanely crazy. I don't even know how long that video was that was embedded in the document, but just the fact that you're like, hey, summarize that video, and the next thing you know, it wasn't even 5 seconds later, maybe all of a sudden it's like boop boop boop, bullet points start showing up, and I'm like, the amount of time it would take in me as a human to go through and watch the video, make sure that I'm paying attention and not getting sidetracked by the dog barking or a delivery person or Brandon pinging me on Teams because he wants to ask me questions about a flight post or something. Like, it's just, and the next thing you know, it's just the answers are all there. Like I can't overstate how fascinated I am with Copilot. And even though it's in the scope of, you know, what it's going to become over time, like it's like new, like it is new. And the future for this tool is amazing. And so, you know, I've obviously, as I mentioned earlier, you know, I've had the privilege of working with you on this. And I know that there are a ton of people who are involved in this project and are engaged. And obviously we don't have them all here because there's no way we could actually fit them all into the webcast. Everybody's pictures would be like this big and you couldn't see anybody, and I couldn't even put name tags on folks. We'd have to use together mode and still everybody wouldn't fit in there. So, you know, for all the folks out there that are watching this video, whether you're watching it live or if you're watching the video after the fact, there are entire teams of people here at Microsoft dedicated to making this product fantastic. So again, all of that feedback that you have, please send it in. If you're having troubles with getting answers as expected, or if Copilot, if there's actions that you want it to take, make sure and submit that. Go check and see if somebody's already submitted it. That's the joy of the feedback system, is most likely because of the scope and scale of the program. Well, hopefully somebody has submitted it, and if not, you can be the first. And then make sure to share that around so others who have kind of like mind and are supportive of some of those same things can go and upvote that. We can collate it and then, you know, drive that back to the product team for prioritization perspectives. Whew, that was a lot of talking. It was cool that you broke it up into like the videos into segments, because that's a lot of talking. I'm usually the one who does a lot of talking. You can ask Amanda about that one, especially at the end of conference calls.
Jason's favorite thing to do is have the final word in every meeting after I said, okay, guys, let's wrap it up. We'll see you later. And then Jason has one more thing to add every meeting. But
wait, there's more. Oh my goodness. Amy, I have to say, thank you for making these videos. Thank you for coming and chatting. I know that there's been a few questions that have popped up in the chat. Brandon, I know you've been bouncing around like crazy pants between some of the flight work and checking out some of what's in chat. Is there anything you wanted to add on? Anne-Marie, are there any questions that you wanted to highlight? Is there anything specific we should tackle? I have not been super in depth with chat because, you know, doing the technical stuff. So if there was anything that we should address, please throw those out.
Really just going to reiterate that, yes, Copilot is going to come to the Canary channel. We're just not announcing when, but hopefully soon. But it's going to come there. We know people want it there. And so we know that you know, folks are asking, it's coming soon. So that's kind of the main thing in the chat. There was some questions about some performance issues with Copilot, and I recommended that those folks who are seeing some performance issues, please file feedback in Feedback Hub, because that'll be helpful for us to chase down what those might be. Unfortunately, we can't really do a lot of troubleshooting during a webcast, but yeah, submit that feedback. Any issues you're having with Copilot, just, you know, please submit that feedback so we can look into it.
Yep. And if you go look in the Feedback Hub, there is a category called Windows Copilot. So check that category, grab the appropriate context in the drop down, and then submit your feedback accordingly. Please do look for previously submitted feedback. It does help with the triage process to make sure we're kind of collating those things together. That way folks have more time to actually do development work, you know, and it saves Amy from having to dedupe the same thing that we get a bunch. That said, Amy, are there any other things that you would like to say? Anything you want to share with insiders? Any parting words of wisdom or whatnot?
I'd say try it out. Let us know what you think. Let us know what else you want to see. Like, we're working on lots of awesome stuff and we love user input. So please, you know, pass that along through Feedback Hub or, you know, tweeting, all of that stuff. We look at all of this. So yeah, and thank you all for having me here. I feel honored, as you mentioned, to kind of represent all of the bunch of people that are working on this, and I'll definitely take the excitement and feedback back to the rest of the team.
Awesome. On behalf of the Windows Insider crew, on behalf of insiders who are tuned in, and everybody who will be watching this after the fact, thank you a ton. Thank you for being engaged in this project. Thank you for making the time to come and hang out with us and cover this.
Of course.
You know, I'm going to be hitting you up again in the future, you know, after, you know, we gone through some more iterations and there's some new exciting things coming. We'll have to have you back to come do this again. So hopefully you've had a good time and are willing to come and pay us.
Yes, I'll be happy to. I don't know how it can get more exciting than figuring out a recipe from an image, but we'll figure that out.
I'm sure you'll come up with something, because if this is what you have to show as we're just getting started with this product, I can only imagine what's coming next.
For sure. Well, thanks again for having me.
Yep. Thank you so much. That was a lot of fun, and those videos were great. So hopefully, insiders out there, hopefully you learned something from what was presented. There's a lot of functionality to be had, a lot of functionality to use. And again, if there's something you want to try, just try it. And if you get a, hey, this doesn't work, or I don't understand what you're asking, submit the feedback, because it helps us get going in that right direction. So, Brandon.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
What?
This is gonna be fun. Hold on a second. I'm gonna have way too much fun with this. So as we shift gears here, everybody, let me take a moment, and I need to share a particular window. So it's been a long time since I've tried to share a PowerPoint through Teams into OBS. So everybody cross your fingers for me in the hope that this works. I'm gonna pretend this is gonna work correctly, and we shall see. Is it working? Let's see here. I'm trying something new on the fly, and it's not going to be surprising if it doesn't quite work. So, Amanda, Brandon, can y'all see what I'm sharing in the Teams meeting?
Yeah, I can.
Okay.
I can see a slide that says, let's talk Copilot.
Okay, perfect. Now, let me see if I can get that piped over to OBS appropriately. It may not let me do it, and then if that's not going to work, then it's going to be a question of audio. But darn. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to go a different route, but that's all right. Okie dokie. So let me go back to this. And I will stop sharing. All right. Some technical tryouts, kind of real time. So let me go ahead and pull the PowerPoint back up, and let's have a little more fun with this. So after we've talked about Copilot, next up, I hope everybody's excited for this, because it's birthday time. This is good stuff here. So Brandon, happy birthday, Brandon! I'm super excited.
Thank you.
Super duper stoked. I can't tell you how pumped I am about this. Why wouldn't I? You kidding me? And the fun part is, you haven't seen this slide, and because I'm not sharing it in Teams, you can't see it yet.
No. I could have guessed you were going to use that. That's
Brandon.
Pride and joy.
Brandon, you and I have worked together for a really long time. We have done a lot together. We have seen a lot together. We've goofed off a lot together. We've had laughs. We've had cries. We've
screams, shouts, yells.
Every end of the emotional rainbow along the way. It has been an absolute blast. I'm so glad.
Rainbow Trout. Sorry. Poor graphic guy. Sorry, Jason. Go ahead.
The funniest jokes are the ones that are accidental. It's been an absolute hoot, man, and I'm super glad that your birthday happened to fall on a webcast. This wasn't even planned; It just happened to turn out this way from a timing perspective. So, I thought I just want to say happy birthday, man. I hope you have a fantastic day.
Thank you.
This is going to be permanently memorialized on YouTube, by the way. So, good times. Anytime somebody wants this image, they're just going to come to YouTube and clip it out of the video. So this will now forever haunt you with my lovely paint additions of some balloons and a horribly cut present out of some random image.
You did good. You did good. I will give you that. The balloons are very, very nice. Thank you. Thank you so much. As always, it is a pleasure working with you, Jason. I hope that many more years to come.
My cheeks actually hurt from laughing. This is good stuff. It looks like we have about 8 minutes left, so let me let me attempt to zip through some of the rest of this content real quick. So let me get back to the PowerPoint. Next up, the 9th anniversary of the Windows Insider program. So for those of you that are keeping track, the original date was announced on September the 30th of 2014. The program officially opened up, kicked off, and was up and running the very next day, October the 1st. The image on the right side there, it's a little bit of a hybrid where it's, the I'm a Windows Insider stuff from back in the day, along with a snapshot of what was the 8th anniversary Windows Insider wallpaper. But that being the case, I'm going to work a little bit of magic here because this is the fun thing. And if, me talking about wallpapers, hopefully folks are in context. Let me add, new, done, okay, apply. And if you're looking at my new background and you're looking at Amanda's background, I didn't have a chance to talk to you, Brandon or Anne-Marie, before the call. I'm sorry. I should have been better about making this happen.
That's okay. Head in the clouds, literally.
There was a little bit of chaos this morning. I'll just put it that way.
There was. That's all right.
Let me go ahead and flip. Oh, people can't even see it. Here, let me show you. Guess what? Guess what this is? Yeah. All right. So now let me go back to the actual. Let me transition back to the PowerPoint because I'm over here doing things and folks can't even see it. The new badge is out. So if you've been in the feedback hub today, you may have noticed the pop-up on your machine saying that the badge is available. And in the lower right corner is an image of what you will see. But as I was alluding to, the 9th anniversary wallpaper is now available. Dun, 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 dun. So if you are into light mode, aka.ms/WIP9 LIGHT, WIP9 Light will get you the light mode version of the wallpaper. And then
the links. Hey, Jason, just quick. The links are also in the beta channel blog that went live.
Oh.
We put it in that. Yeah. So I'm trying to find the link.
Most excellent. And then if you happen to be a fan of dark mode.
Sorry.
Right? It's funny because the change is the top left corner. But, I zip back and forth between the slides so folks can see the difference kind of flickering between the two. But for the dark mode wallpaper, it is aka.ms/WIP9 DARK, WIP9 Dark. So if you want light, WIP9 Light. If you want dark, WIP9 Dark. And there you go. That is that is the new wallpaper. This one's actually really cool because not only does it have, the Bloom logo of Windows 11, it's got that flow, but if you actually look at some of the details in the imagery, it kind of hits back to some of the development that we do, right? Where we do design mock-ups, we go through and integrate feedback that we've heard from insiders. It's got some of those special touches in there. You'll notice the community icon, the hearts and people, that fun design from last year that kind of made its way into there. And if it's super fun that we were just talking about Copilot, because if you look deeply enough into the image, it's down in the corner. It's really hard to do this on a webcam. You look down and there it is. So that being said, the new items are there. Brandon put the link in chat for the link on the blog post in case you missed the actual links that I showed you on the PowerPoint. Totally fine.
Yeah, the links in the blog post are a little bit different than the ones that you shared. So it sounds like someone created different AKMS links, but they all take it to the same background.
That was me.
Oh, yeah.
My bad.
Sorry. Oh, and Jason, you should be very, very proud to know that both Jeremy Sinclair and Zeno have shared the image of Brandon Trout, happy birthday, screenshotted on Twitter. So not only is it going to live on YouTube, it's going to live on Twitter too. So there you go.
I'm so
Thank you,
excited
Zeno and Jeremy, for that.
I love the community for doing this. Brandon, I'm not doing this at your expense. I'm doing this because I love you, man. Like,
oh, I know. And Brandon Trout is nice. At least it's not a giraffe.
There's a
Don't
history.
give him any ideas, Brandon.
I mean, you never know what you're going to see on Twitter later today. Who knows?
Oh, no.
Is this Insider new birthday wallpaper? Yes, Mason. This is the new Windows Insider Program 9th anniversary wallpaper. Those links are there. Brandon linked to the blog post. It's a lot of fun. So you'll see me in upcoming webcast running this background because I think it's pretty doggone cool. Let me ask, Amanda, Brandon, Anne Marie. I know we've covered a lot of things today. Are there any notes about the program? Any other fun stuff you want to add in? I'm taking a quick scroll through the chat over here on my other monitors, so if I'm looking away, please bear with me. But any other addendums or notes, things y'all might want to add in?
I will give another quick plug on feedback. I know this session was specific to Copilot, and we're always looking for feedback on what we talk about in these webcasts. But if there's any feedback on the Insider program directly, if you're having an issue, a suggestion, please also submit that feedback through the Feedback Hub. That's something Jason and I have been working on, and we want to hear what you think. So please get your badge and then submit some feedback if you have any.
Absolutely. I won't dig all the way through. I think one of the things I might actually use Copilot to summarize the chat from this session if I can.
Smart.
Right.
You definitely can.
Using tools to, summarize the talk about the tool. So I'll go through there. If there are any kind of important questions that we missed, I'll make sure to get those answered out on social for folks. So stay tuned on our Twitter site, which is twitter.com. Our handle is @WindowsInsider. If you're not following us, please do. We announce blog posts there. We have a lot of fun. We respond with lots of funny GIFs and stuff all the time. It's a really cool way to get interacting with us. And whether it's me or Brandon or Amanda or Anne Marie or any other number of folks who have access and would post fun stuff, we're all engaged, and it's always a good time. It's always a good time. The good question about future webcasts. Hoping to do another one next month. December, we usually take off because of the holidays and trying to bring feature teams on between, wrapping up dev work and feature work towards the end of the year, plus people taking time off. So I'm hoping to possibly do one next month if we can work out the timing because, there's the Thanksgiving holiday here in the U.S. So we'll see how we line it up. But fingers crossed we can pull off one for November. December probably won't happen, but then we should be back rolling in January if we don't have that December one. So tentative schedule, I'll keep you posted. So stay tuned to the Windows Insider newsletter because that's where we announce all of these. And then, of course, we'll announce on Twitter what those schedules are as they kind of come to life. Oh, I'm sorry. You're right. It is X. It's not Twitter anymore. It's old habits. I will probably forever call it Twitter. It will always be Twitter in my heart. You can't just change the name once after me calling it something for 15 years. So anyway, we are right at time. I hope everybody that is tuned in today, hope you learned something. I hope you enjoy the new wallpapers. Thank you for being Windows Insiders. Thank you for being a part of this program. Thanks for 9 years and counting. The future holds some very fun and exciting things, as you can see with a lot of the things that we've been working on as of late. Hopefully you're enjoying the preview builds and everything that keeps lighting up along the way. This program's it's a lot of fun to work on, and the past 9 years has been an absolute hoot. Hopefully you've enjoyed it as well. And so I'll just say thank you. Thanks for making my job fun. I'm glad I get to work on this and do this every day and bring you all this kind of exciting stuff. Amanda, Anne Marie, Brandon, any closing parting words you want to share?
I just want to thank everybody for their participation. It's been a quick 9 years in some ways, right? I think we've been involved in the background from the beginning, and I love it when insiders are letting us know and showing their badges and being a part of the program. It's super important for us, and so I really appreciate it.
I mean, I would just say that, I would actually echo the comment that Amanda made in the chat is if you, insiders who have ARM devices, get on our insider preview builds. If you have an ARM device, beta, if you're, that more comfortable there, we would love to get, more folks who are using ARM devices, running some of our builds. So, because we're constantly trying to make, improvements to the ARM experience as well. So, I just wanted to echo that comment.
Great point.
For sure. All right. Well, I will do some homework on the questions and whatnot. But with that, we will wrap up. So on behalf of Amy, as well as the Insider crew, and Sick Jin, who is not here today, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for being in Windows Insiders. Thanks for 9 years, and we'll see what comes next. And with that, we will catch you next time.
Thanks, guys.